if anything, he does have some interesting villains. He's not a top villain in my book, but he does have interesting villain goals, achievements he has pulled off.
Yep.
Like, like as I said, how he's able to buy the fucking world.
Yeah, like I said, this actually happened in the series. He actually somehow was able to nearly buy out entire sections of the entire planet.
Like I said, everybody has a price.
Hmm. Crossy, what do you think? Who would be your least favorite character?
Um, the main villain and his assistant,
Groomer?
mostly his assistant, because I think we all know what she wanted. His
That
dick.
is obvious.
Need no sweets. Goku date me.
Never.
You wanted to
Never
be
die.
from basically a guy who looks like a knockoff Hulk Hogan. Yeah, have fun with that, lady.
Oh yeah.
No, no.
Oh yeah.
Okay, moving on. I see there's not really much we can talk about overall from this, considering
But
the
I
sheer...
guess, yeah. But unless we want to say like favorite episodes and stuff.
Favorite episode? I can't really pick a favorite. They were all good in their own right. They all had their strong
Yeah.
points and their weak points.
Yeah, I can't really say either one as well because they didn't really impact me enough where to make a favorite, but I did like them.
Like, I can't... I tried really hard to think about it. I haven't actually, on my own time, watched this series twice over. Like, a second time, but I could not think of any episode that really stood out to me. Like, they all had their strong and weak points. That's literally the best way I can describe it.
Yeah. Anyway,
What about you two? Any strong, like, any episodes that stood out, or the same thing for you? Like, they had their strong and weak points?
It's
Same thing.
you pretty much knock it out of the ballpark for me. Strong and weak points, to be honest.
Yeah, it's understandable. If you watch the series, like, you'll see what... I mean, if you guys ever watch the series for yourselves, I mean, by all means, you might have a favorite episode here or there. It's just for me, there was a few episodes that had their strong points and a lot of good ones. But at the same time, there was an episode too that had their really weak points.
Yeah.
I mean, they explained the backstory well for all the main characters, so there was that.
Pretty much. If anything, the way they explain the backstory of the characters reminds me of how Lunatics did theirs, to be honest with you.
To be fair, though, Lunatics dragged it out a good bit. In the case of Rovers, they were straight to the point within the first few episodes. They didn't, like, mince words. They wanted to get to know the characters before we got the backstory. So there's that.
That is true. But, I don't know if you guys want to rate this show, or we just move on to, like, a final question.
Honestly, personally, I'd rate this show a 7 out of 10, mainly because of... I'm being a little bit generous here. I was going to give it a 6 out of 10, but looking at the story more closely, the story was well explained for the most part, so I'll give that a 7 out of 10. So good plot development and, you know, consistent characterization. But I have, but like I said, I would have, had it been just that, I would have given it a 9 out of 10, but I give it a 7 because of the lack of, you know, more plot. The development was good, don't get me wrong, it's just, I wish there was more to it.
Alright. What about you, Crossy?
I agree.
What's your
You agree
rating?
with Hazard?
Cause like I said before, it wasn't too obvious on the whole development thing. I mean, I just wish there could have been more episodes.
I mean, considering how much material they were trying to put...
I kind of give it a 6 out of 10 or a 7 out of 10.
That's fair. Like we said before, the humor was all over the place, personally, for me, so that's why I gave it a lower score. Like, I feel like they could have done better with the humor, or, you know, not tried so hard with it, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Justin, what about you? Because I know Crossy here gave it a similar score to mine.
Honestly, with you guys, it's a tough one, but I would honestly give it a 5 or a 6 out of 10, to be honest with you guys.
That's fair.
like, as Hazard and they both said, nothing wrong with it. It was, like, nothing wrong with it. Animation was great. The cartoon was humor. Hell, they even got the voice actor of Brain for picking the brain.
This is true.
So,
They brought
and
in
that
the
was-
brain. He apparently was in jail at some point. Don't ask.
Though unfortunately, they also brought in the voice of Fanboy for an episode, but I digress.
Ah! We don't talk about fanboy.
Right, but anywho, as I was saying, the reason I give it a 5 or a 6 out of 10, it's because, well, like I said, it's not that there's anything wrong with the show. Here's the thing. When it comes to certain cartoons, live TV shows, or movies, you really gotta work hard to impact me in a bit. Like, if it's gonna be something I like, if it's gonna be the characters I'm gonna like, or the story, or the action itself, or something that just drives my attention, that's how it works. Like, for me, I always have this rule, if it's where, no matter whatever the show is, if I never heard of it, or have heard of it, and I just want to see it, if I like it, I always watch 5 episodes. After 5 episodes, if I like it, I continue watching the series to its fullest. If I don't, I move on.
That's
I had no
fair.
choice. Yeah, if anything, after watching 5 episodes, I say I would stop and then come back to it another time. It's like, yeah, you know what, I'll finish the rest of it, see if I like it or not. It's one of those shows for me, to be honest with you. Like, it's got good characters, but the jokes were all hit and misses on me. Like, there was some I chuckled at, there was some I laughed at, but there was some I was like,
Some that were
Cricket
painfully
noise.
obvious.
some were too painfully obvious, and some of them were just make me have dead silence, and you would hear crickets going off in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Like some of the dog puns that were made. And there were quite a number of them. I mean, I
Yeah,
know they weren't, I could tell they weren't trying too hard with the dog puns. They were trying to, just keep things somewhat consistent with the characters. And I can applaud them for that. But overall, they could have done better.
Yeah, though, if anything, I shouldn't be too harsh on them for the dog puns, because here's the thing. When it comes to shows like these, those are the type of jokes you would expect in a child show, in a cartoon show in a way. Because if it's about a group of crime-fighting dogs and stuff, you're gonna see a lot of dog jokes. If it's like the Mighty Ducks, you might see duck jokes and shit like that.
Or SWAT cats, you're going to hear cat jokes. And there's quite a lot of cat jokes.
And who knows? And hell, there's a lot of turtle jokes in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series of
Very
all those
true.
shows. You know?
And
Like I
there's
said,
been a few dog jokes in Scooby-Doo, so that's all expected. So that's all well within, expected, like in terms of humor, you're pretty much gonna expect to hear those. And we don't
Exactly.
mind that, to be honest. It's just I feel like some of the humor in general could have been a little bit better.
Yeah, like I said, that's why I give it a 5 or a 6 out of 10, to be honest, because it's a hit or miss. But overall, it's a good series. I recommend you guys watch it. You might enjoy it, and who knows, you might enjoy it. And like we always said, these are our opinions. You don't have to go buy off of them. Give it a watch for yourself, and you might have a different result.
Exactly. And to be perfectly honest, it's like, again, it's 13 episodes. You could probably binge watch in like maybe a few hours. It's really not that long a series. Warner Brothers, again, never really explained why they took it off the air, but they did. Cartoon Network picked it up like maybe a year after, but keep in mind, guys, this is a series that a lot of fans want to see brought back. I mean, you gotta figure there's something good about this series that people want to bring it back. And it's been roughly a good 20-something years since the series was on the air. That's just something.
Yeah, if anything, it doesn't make me want to say doesn't make me want to say like all those people are just idiots for saying shit like that. No. If anything, for people who say they want the show back, that just shows me they thought the show had amazing and great potential, that they wanted to make a comeback or another season of it. Where it had a second highest viewing of Warner Brothers back then.
Crossy, what do you think on this?
I agree.
Anything else you want to say to that besides I agree?
Like, I mean, I get what you're saying. It's just that I have no words.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, like I said, to this series' credit, it holds up well in my opinion. The animation aged well, the plot aged well, the comedy not so much, but that's just me.
This
Right.
is Cartoon Network.
So
Anywho,
the question to be asked is, does this
does the
series...
show still hold?
You
Yeah.
say.
Does the show still hold up? I'm gonna be honest with you. I would say, not like a bad, just more like in the middle.
I'd say it does, mainly because of potential it could have.
Yeah, it does hold up, but it holds up a little. I'm not saying it by a lot, but it holds up.
Like I said, it's just mostly the potential this series had. Had it been given a second season, I imagine it would have held up pretty well.
Pretty much.
I mean, they
What
were
about
on
you,
a
Crossy? Do you
roll.
think it... But what do you think, Crossy? Do you think it still holds up?
Yep, it does.
Alright.
So our overall score, guys, we give it a 6 out of 10. We're trying to be very generous here. It's
Yeah,
just,
given what...
it's still missing a good bit
Cartoon Network.
to it.
Like we said, don't be surprised if this is a 1 or 2-part, but or somehow squeezed into a 3-parter of what we talked about.
I doubt it, to be honest.
Well, given our take of how this is edited, we'll find out then. Well, in that case, this will be the end of the Retro Wars. If you guys enjoyed it, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and comment down some TV shows or childhood shows you guys remember, and maybe we could be able to review them as well.
Yeah, just try to avoid stuff that could potentially be major copyright hassles, please.
Yeah, we like what we do, please.
Yeah,
but,
so
yeah.
As it stands, from when I last checked, we have over 150-something shows to look over right now.
And it's still going because we find more shows that needs reviewing.
And these are all the shows that, after I did some careful filtering, do not have copyright issues attached to them. Keep this in mind. And at one point we had a whole bunch more shows like from Disney and whatnot, but because of Disney and certain other companies having copyright issues or whatever, we have to take a bunch of them down. That's roughly a third of our total list off. We still have a lot.
Pretty much. Yeah, we still have a lot. Don't worry. And trust me, we're gonna keep. And honestly, I doubt we're gonna run out of shows anytime soon. Because no matter if we took that, even if we did one episode, we're still gonna. Not only we have the list to go through, we're gonna end up finding more shows to review because of things on Twitter and people have been talking about. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, like, comment, subscribe, and I guess we'll see you next time. Stay out, ciao, peeps, or say bye, peeps.
Later.
Yeah. Sorry. Later, everybody.
Later, fuckers.
Later.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh!
Monday through Friday.
At 4:30. We know. Huh?
Huh?
Yu-Gi-Oh! Coming up next, right here on Kids WB.
I will not fail you, father!
I must return to my own title, Samurai Jack.
A new series movie premiere. Next Friday at 7.
For the next time on Retro Warriors.
I want my humanity back.